Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I am so upset. I don't want to say anything that is I'm not supposed to say. I'm so not happy. This is a video that it's along the lines of the lady that died, the minister that died. And for me, I don't want to talk about, because a lot of people have talked about the lady, a lot of people have talked about their abuse, a lot of people have talked about how the church didn't help, the family didn't help, and all of that. A lot of people have mentioned a lot of things. But for me, who has my passion, I'm someone who talks about children a lot. I'm someone who I try to help families trying to conceive. That's an area that I have a very soft spot. And since this woman passed, knowing that the man has been arrested, my mind has just been on those children, right? So if you don't know, I'm a mom of 4, and that woman has 4 children as well. It's sad. It breaks my heart and it's very emotional, and I don't want to be emotional about it, because I begin to think about the children. I'm thinking, where are they? Who's looking after them? How are they coping? First of all, they've lost their mom. Now their dad is no longer there. He's now been arrested. So they literally don't have anybody. And for me, who having 4 kids, and I'm just thinking, if I'm not here, who's going to look after my kids? If I'm not here, who's going to look after my kids? Who's going to, for me, even leaving my kids, I'm thinking about it, like really thinking about it, because I don't even think any woman in this world can look after my children as much as I would do. So I'm really worried about these children. And that's the reason I've decided to talk about, why are you there? You're going through domestic abuse. What are you doing there? You're there. A lot of people say they are there because of my children. I'm here because I have children. I'm going to be talking about, now this video I want to be talking about the effects of domestic abuse on the children. If you think you're there, if you think you are there because of your children, I'm going to tell you why your children should be the reason you should not be there. Your children should be the reason you should not be there. So recently I was listening to a lady who went through domestic abuse, and she was recounting the consequences it's had, or is even still having on her children, especially the first one that had to experience or that had to see all the domestic abuse. So she said something. She said that her daughter is ruined. When she said that, my heart broke into pieces. She said that her daughter is ruined as a result of what she saw in her marriage. Children don't have voice. But I want to be a voice for those children. I want to be a voice for your kids. I want to be a voice for the children that are parents are having these issues, domestic violence, going on in their families. They may not say anything, but I want to speak for them. And on this video, I'm going to be talking like a child. I want to tell you the effects. What happens to a child who is in a family that is experiencing domestic violence? And at the end of this video, you would know that the reason you should be running away from domestic abuse is because of your children. Don't use children as your reason to stay in a domestic relationship, a relationship that has abuse upon abuse. Children should not be your reason. They should be the reason why you should be running away. Because however you mold them, that's how they are going to be when they grow up. They grow up to be irresponsible women, irresponsible men, abusers themselves, people with no empathy, people with low self-esteem. What are the effects? of domestic violence on a child. Number one, the child will begin to think that it's okay to accept abuse. A girl child who sees her mother being abused and her mother keeps taking it in and taking it in, of course she's going to grow up and find a man who is going to abuse her. She will find a man who is going to abuse her. So she's going to think that abuse is okay. My mom endured it. And that's why I cringe when I hear people say, oh, the older generation endured. They endured abuse. No. The fact they endured it doesn't mean it's right. That was then. A lot of things have changed. So your children are going to think abuse is okay. One of the things I heard about the late minister's children said that their father taught them to think that abusing a woman or beating a woman is okay. So of course they're going to think it's okay. Hopefully they'll be able to unlearn all the things that they have learned or they have seen. One of the effects as well is that the self-esteem of a child is rubbish. You have destroyed the self-esteem of your children. You are destroying the self-esteem of your children. If you're in an abusive relationship and you're watching me and your children are constantly seeing your husband abuse you, your wife abuse you, the self-esteem of your children are going to be they won't even have self-esteem. And when somebody does not have self-esteem, that's where you see bullies. That's where you see people who become narcissist traits. People will become wicked because they want to be recognized. So however way they want to be recognized, good, bad, they will do it, whatever they need to be done. You would think that seeing your mom hit seeing your dad hit your mom would make you to say, I would never ever hit a woman. It's a lie. Children learn from what they see. As much as they know that it's wrong, a lot of people who you see abusing women, beating women, I can't, since this woman died, I can't tell you the number of videos I have seen about women who are being abused. Men beating women like children. In fact, there was a post that I saw that a man said that women are supposed to be like the first child of the man, so they spare the rod and spare the child. A woman from another man, a woman that you married from another family is now your child that you're saying spare the rod and spare the child. So your children are going to think it's okay to abuse a woman. So if you're in an abusive relationship, you think, oh, I'm in that relationship because, oh, you know what, if I leave now, what will happen to my children? Your children are going to be worse if you remain in that relationship. So they will think it's okay to abuse women. Your children will be confused. See, you see children who are really confused in this world, or if you see grown-ups who are really confused in this world, a lot of them are men that grew up in an abusive environment because they see their parents fighting each other, they see their parents hitting each other, and sometimes their parents will come and say, oh, don't touch your brother because it's not okay to touch your brother. Don't hit because it's not okay. You double standard. That's double standard from the most important people in their lives. They are going to be the most confused human beings in this world and probably will not even believe a word of what you say because they don't trust you. They don't know what you're saying. They don't know where you stand. You say one thing, you do a different thing. OSINACHI'S husband was going to church. And one of the things we know about Christianity is the fact that we live like Christ. You go home, you beat the hell out of this woman in front of their children. And you think those children are not going to be confused? Oh, those children are going to be confused big time. Because what standard? Their mother will be beaten up and their mother will go out and sing and make other people happy. Oh, sad. If you die, what is going to happen to your children? I'm talking to you. You that you're in an abusive relationship. See, every woman that is in an abusive relationship, they know. Every human being that is in an abusive relationship know that they are in an abusive relationship, because you know what is good from what is bad. Now my question to you is that if you die trying to change who God has not changed, trying to change the person that God hasn't changed, power you don't have to even change yourself, power you don't even have to get out of your abusive relationship, and you think you have the power to change a man. So if you die, what happens to your children? The children that you're in that relationship for, you're in that relationship because I'm in this relationship because I don't want my children to suffer. If you die, what happens to them? What are we going to be doing? What can we do? Because I've just said a little bit about the effects on children, which I know there are 1,001 more. What should we do? How can we change this thing that is happening to women? How can we change this thing that is happening to children? How can we change this thing that is happening in the world of men beating women? Number one, start raising your boys. Yes. Start raising your boys. As much as you raise your girls. See, all of us are guilty. You know, the old generation, our parents, that they did their best. They did what they know that they can do. It's in our hand to change this nonsense that is happening. If you have a boy child and you have a girl child, I challenge you from this video to raise your children equally. Teach the boy child the things you're teaching your daughters. Your daughter cannot be in the kitchen cooking and your child is playing video game. Your daughter cannot be the one doing everything in the house, and your son, train your child. There are a lot of things out there about girl child. Train, foundations, seminars, outreaches, a lot of things, books written for women. How about the men? Can we start training our boys? I tell you what, come to my house. I'm not giving her responsibility because she's a girl. I'm giving her responsibility because you are older than this person. I always tell my son, I always say to him that, look, you're the number one child, so you are responsible for your siblings. Phoebe can only help you if she wants to help. You're making breakfast, you are making breakfast. You're the one cooking noodle. You're the one making porridge. You're the one frying egg. You're the one doing it. If Phoebe wants to do it, that's fine. You are going to do it, because cooking is a skill for both boy and girl. Of course, there are some things you will not like. Of course, there are some chores that you don't really enjoy, but you're going to learn it. I challenge every woman. I challenge every woman on watching this video. I challenge everyone watching this video. Raise your boy child as much as you're raising your girl child. Raise them. Let the change start with us. Raise your boy child as much as you're raising your girl child. If you don't, you're part of the problem. If you cannot if you're guilty of this, you're part of the problem. You're part of the people who are raising abusers as men. I don't want to be emotional. Lead by example. Don't tell your children, come on, don't hit. You're not allowed to hit your sister. But any tiny thing, you hit their father. You hit their mother. Lead by example. Pray for your children. Pray for your children. Everything I have said here, pray for your children. Pray that as they are growing up, they will continue to grow in the knowledge of God. Let God guide their steps. Let them not meet people that would change their destiny for bad. Let them not meet people that would change the things that they've learned. Let them meet good people on the way as they are growing. Pray for your children. Make it a duty to every day pray for your children. Every day pray for your children. Because it's very, very important. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be grateful, be positive, and be yourself. See you on my next video. Bye for now.